Here's how you know when Kevin Stefanski feels good about something. The only time he's ever shown emotion on that sideline was against Tennessee when Deshaun Watson threw that deep ball and he chest bumped him on the sideline and he was fired up. When Joe Flacco was throwing that ball off the sideline, your boy Stefanski was animated all day. I seen him do the little golf kick. Ooh, Hopkins finally got it up in there. I'm like, look at Stefanski. When you have some emotion.
Jay, I want to ask you a question.
There
about,
it is. Look at that.
Got a high step. He almost looks like Dion right there.
He's flashing.
Have
David
you
Bell.
picked up on anything in the building that there's outside influences other than Kevin Stefanski that's pushing the run?
That's pushing the run? No.
I'm sorry, pushing the pass.
Yeah, I think if anything, it'd be the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's my bad. Because I am hearing from inside the building that this crazy throwing the football around is not Kevin Stefanski's plan.
Well, I think two things can be true. I think he'd rather throw it than run it, and I think he's probably getting pressure to do that as well. But I think he's probably in alignment with it. Now, maybe there's instances where he'd rather run it and is being told no, throw it. But his nature is very much to throw the football.
I think his nature, and you touched on this last week, I think the offense that we're currently seeing is the offense Kevin Stefanski wants to run.
Yes.
This is what Kevin Stefanski is.
I texted our subscribers on the opening drive. We've been talking about it. I've been saying it for weeks. Right now, the Browns' offense is heavy sets, screen passes, play action, deep shots on third down.
And it's working.
That's exactly what the opening drive was. To a T. That's what that, real
100%.
quick. Zach Jackson just sent me this tweet. I have to read it. It's kind of funny. And this could be a whole other thing that we can worry about on Not a Victory Monday. The Browns paid Deshaun Watson $6.5 million per touchdown pass. So far, they're paying Joe Flacco $37,000 per touchdown.
We're not going to get on that tangent right now. I'm going to get a FanDuel read in and toss it back to you guys. But as the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay red hot on FanDuel. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action than right now. The app is simple to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much, much more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL, an official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Back to the Stefanski talk. Earl said it, I thought, very eloquently on the postgame show yesterday, but he used the word fluid when describing how the Browns' offense has looked the last 2 weeks under Joe Flacco, and it seems to be a nice marriage, at least so far, between Stefanski and his new QB1. So, guys, would you agree fluid is the right word to describe how the Browns' offense had looked prior to Flacco to how it looks now, or would you use a different word?
Fluid, I like the word cohesive.
Functioning.
Functional.
Same page. I know that's two words, but it goes back to what he just said. I think that this is the epitome of what he wants to run, right? It's just like being in a relationship, man. You find somebody that likes you and they deal with your baggage. You're like, oh yeah, listen, this girl, they get me. I'm not dumping this person. This person understands that I'm kind of weird. So with Flacco, Stefanski is like, oh, y'all done let me get one of these. Let me get one of these bootleg quarterbacks.
The kind of quarterbacks I want to use.
Yeah, you gonna let me get one of these play action quarterbacks, and he know the playbook, and he know when to throw and not to throw. Oh yeah, I'm good. This is what I'm looking for right here. I think he's like that, man. And I don't mean to derail the show, and because here's my thing, but this is the way Kool-Aid works. And I'm just let you know, as the Kool-Aid, we are serving large goblets and cups of Kool-Aid of Flaccavelli in the streets right now. And every win that comes down this pipeline, you know it as well as I know it. Don't try to act like you guys are innocent. You know what that whisper is. Hey, what happens if he wins more? What happens if they win a playoff game? What happens if they go to the divisional round?
I told you, lock them up right now for next year.
What happens if they get to the AFC Championship game? You know what these? I looked at a little thing on the internet on Cleveland.com. People, when they already start talking about the amount of money that you got for one touchdown pass to the other, the seed is already planted.
It would help if he was 28, not 30.
Another story for another day. But in terms of Stefanski, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I'll say it again. I know you said it a few weeks ago. Stefanski should, without a doubt, be given an extension this offseason. He has done a magnificent job. The fact that this team is 8-5, beating every good team they've played with the best strength of victory of any contending team in the NFL in a season where all hell is broken loose and it's hard to predict and hard to, the amount of injuries they have dealt with, and there's a lot of injuries around the league. And usually when fans complain and say their team has the most, I'm always like, nah, your team doesn't have the most. In this case, it's actually true.
Yes.
The Browns' injuries, and especially the key players, has been off the charts ridiculous. Almost every top player has missed time, and many have missed the whole season. It's absurd. If you told me the guys that were going to be injured and the quarterbacks that were going to play, and you said the Browns are going to be 8-5, I would have laughed in your face. There's no chance the Browns are 8-5 under all these circumstances. And here they are. They could win 4 more games. I wouldn't be surprised if they won out. I think they'll win at least 2 and probably 3, and there's a decent chance they're going to win 4. They're going to win 10, 11, maybe 12 games. It's ridiculous. This guy is a tremendous coach. He's been slighted and slammed unfairly time and time again. It's
and
ridiculous.
There's still people that are upset. I don't get it.
I don't get it. Absurd. He's the best.
People calling for his job.
Oh God.
He's the best coach the Browns have had since Belichick.
Yes.
Not that that's saying much, but it's not even close. Not even close.
I think he's going to get Coach of the Year votes. I said that a couple of weeks ago. I still say that. He's done. I think it's what's crazy about him and what I like the most about him is he's done his best work under the most adversity.
He thrives under it.
He
loves it.
thrives under adversity. And to me, I know there's a lot of different ways we can judge coaches, but the one thing I most wanted in my coach, can you be at your best when the building is on fire? And in 2020, the building was damn near literally on fire. Playoffs. He's the first head coach to get wins with 4 different quarterbacks in one season for the Browns since 1988 when Don Strock had to ride in on the white horse.
Well, in fairness, how many times has that been a possibility?
It's the first time in the NFL since 2015 for the record.
Right.
So.
I'm going in Browns history.
Yeah.
You have to go all the way back to 1988. To think about, first of all, you got to have a lot of injuries to your quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well, check. We've done that.
Yeah.
The fact that he's gotten a win against the San Francisco 49ers, the team that could likely be the number 1 overall seed in the West, with P.J. Walker.
Yep.
You can't underestimate what he has done and what he has meant for this football team. And when you see players tweeting out, love this guy, the fact that he's been able to keep this team together with all the adversity, that tells you something. I don't think there was ever any question that he had the locker room. But the fact that he has the locker room to the point where these guys are tweeting out, love this guy, and you look at what he's overcome.
The reason I think people give him criticism is this. It's difficult when you are, like if you're one of those coaches and you're going to be the GM and the coach, or you're going to be the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Because if, say, for instance, if Alex Van Pelt was just the offensive coordinator, Stefanski wasn't it, nobody would say fire Stefanski, right? He would be up for the coach of the year. They would say it's Van Pelt's fault or I second guess him. Yeah. But when you are the offensive coordinator, sometimes you're going to get more of the overflow because people nitpick coordinators. From play to
people
play,
in Pittsburgh
down
weren't necessarily calling for Mike Tomlin,
right.
Even though there's always that group. They wanted the offensive coordinator.
There would still be people, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
You put yourself in the line of fire when you wear 2 hats.
But what he's been able to overcome this year has just been remarkable, and he could win Coach of the Year.
I doubt he will. I think he'll get votes. I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think he'll win it either, but he's getting votes.
Will probably win.
Who do you think will win?
Mike McDaniel has 0 quality wins.
But still, right now he's in line. He's in line to. He could be the number 1 overall seed. He can't.
It could be
there are NFL teams that he's beat him, and I agree with you. But
the
love affair going on right now between the media and McDaniel.
I love Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, I do too.
Not like him?
But the love affair that's going on right now between the media and McDaniel
because
is
Kevin
outrageous.
just won it a couple of years ago.
True.
I don't think he's going to win it.
And what's his name in Houston?
D'Amico Ryan's done an incredible job.
If C.J. Stroud's out a while, they could fall apart.
Yeah, he's got to finish.
By the way, isn't it fun?
The odds haven't been updated because the last of the games aren't over, but the odds for Coach of the Year as of entering Sunday. So once again, these haven't changed, so they're a little irrelevant, but just to give you a standpoint and a picture of where it was. Now, he'll definitely rise in the rankings, But Dan Campbell and D'Amico Ryans were the co-favorites
Dan
at plus
Campbell.
200.
Yeah, Campbell
That's
took a
another
dink
good
too
name.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel was plus 350. And then you have to go all the way down. Entering the game yesterday, Kevin Stefanski was 13-1.
Yeah, he's not going to win it, but he's going to
13-1.
get votes.
I mean, if they get on a hot streak here the
If
rest
the Browns
of the way,
finish
you
with
know,
12 wins,
yeah,
you know
it'd be hard
drove
not
me
to.
nuts yesterday, and we may circle it and go back to it. The Rams had a chance to win that game yesterday. The Rams
yeah.
could have easily won that game.
Yeah.
And now the discussion for all of this, because I do think you have to win your division. And not that it's a prerequisite. Hell, the guy that won the Heisman didn't take a meaningful snap
I mean,
all
Kevin,
year
Browns
long.
didn't win the division in 2020 when he won.
No, I know, but because it was such a dramatic turnaround,
Right, and
and
it's
they
the
beat the
Browns.
Steelers, and it was the Browns,
Right.
he was the sexy choice. You know the media loves that.
Yeah.
No, but the Steelers didn't matter. It's only regular season.
No, they beat them at the end of the regular season to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, but
I
they
mean,
were
I
sitting
think
all their
that
starting
helped.
players,
It didn't hurt.
yeah.
Let's put it that way. And I do think that it's the sexy choice and all of that. I don't think you have to be a division winner. You don't, but it does help.
It
But
doesn't really
I'm
matter.
going back to the Ravens win yesterday. Look how much differently we're looking at everything. If you're a game behind the Ravens and not two.
I was actually looking. I was trying to figure out tiebreaker scenarios.
Ravens have it right now.
They would still have it because of
Right now it's common opponents.
right and the Ravens now they've beaten the Rams. They lost to the Colts. I think that the Browns.
They're right now. It's still up in the air. So the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. They're tied. The second tiebreaker is division. They're tied. The third tiebreaker is common opponents. Right now, the Ravens are one game better than the Browns.
There's still a couple. Both teams still have a couple to go.
Yeah.
But more than likely, the Browns would lose the tiebreaker. So they're really 3 games behind the Ravens. So the division's probably
Well,
over
it
at this
depends.
point.
I feel like now it is, but I do feel like
But the
as you're
Ravens
watching
have a
the end
tough
of that
schedule.
game, they do. I think their schedule is more difficult than
They
the
play
Browns.
Jacksonville next week.
To me, I was just, if they could have found a way, if the Rams could have found a way to hold on and win that game,
Yeah.
you're looking at things entirely differently because not only is the division title in play, so too with the number 1 overall seed. The Chiefs are going to have to go on the playoffs for the first time, start the playoffs for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' time there.
Imagine that. You got the same doggone record than the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
With P.J. Walker at quarterback.
That's crazy.
Every team,
Part of the
there's
year.
11 teams within like a game of each other. It's
Yeah,
so
and that's
bizarre.
you know what I think that was Pete Rozell's ideal NFL was parity. He was all about parity, and he said
Well,
it
you
was
got
good
it
for
in
the
the
league.
AFC right now.
And I love it. I
If the
absolutely
Browns
love
win
it.
out, I actually think they have a decent chance to still win the division. If they win out, they'll probably have the tiebreaker.
Because now they would have
they would have 3
their common
more
opponent wins would
common
help.
opponents wins, 3 more.
It just depends on what the Ravens do.
Right, but if the Ravens go 2-2 and lose to a couple of common opponents,
Then the Browns could be the number 1.
and the Browns
It's
win
a
out.
really narrow path right now. It's
it's
mathematically
there.
possible.
I'm gonna say if the Browns go 4-0, they win the division. They have to go 4-0.
I'm going to say this. It don't even really matter if they win the division to me because I'm looking at all these teams, and I think the Browns,
Although-
can beat any team in the
The
AFC.
only reason it may matter is because they've been way better at home on defense.
No, I will say that. That's a
Boy,
good
have
point.
they-
way better.
way
at home.
better.
They're Dr.
It's almost 2 different units.
Yeah, it's
By the
two-
way,
yeah,
when you
you're
were
right.
gone and Earl was in your chair, you must have spilled some packets of Kool-Aid in there, and it was infused up something in his body. Because when he sat there, is Earl here today?
Yeah, he back there.
Earl is here, yeah.
Earl defiantly predicted that the Browns were going to go 5-0 the rest of the way.
So he got. So
You don't
He
need
may be
Kool-Aid
right.
for that. That's Earl.
Like five.
Earl's big a homer too.
I mean, this is about the time when the 6-0 Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
the 5-0 Kool-Aids come around. It's the holiday season.
He called it.